This is the video notes that are going to go with the guided notes for powers of positive exponents. Okay, so we're just going to be building on our last lesson. Okay, so if I look, what I noticed different about the last lesson is I only have one base number, and that one base number has two exponents. Now that's different from the last ones, because the last ones might have been something like this, where you had two base numbers with two each with having their own exponent. Okay, this is why they call it the powers. This exponent has an exponent. Okay, now we're still going to follow the same two steps, but the expand here is going to come in a two-step process. Okay, there's going to be two steps to expanding. Okay, the first step is to get rid of this exponent right here, the one outside the parentheses. Now, if I look at example 1 right here, it says 8 to the third to the second power. The second is the first one I deal with, because remember, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally, says we got to deal with the parentheses and the exponents. So we're going to deal with the two outside the parentheses first. So what that's telling me to do is take 8 to the third like a copy and paste, and I'm going to copy and paste it so that I have two of them. Okay, that's this 2 exponent. Now I'm back to where I was yesterday with this, because we know that 8 to the third is 8 times 8 times 8. 8 to the third is another 8 times 8 times 8. And we learned in the last lesson, then we just count them up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I have 8 to the 6th power. Okay, so the second two lines of work is exactly what we did in our last lesson. We just got to know now to use this exponent outside the parentheses to tell us how many of our inside parentheses terms we're going to have. Okay, now after you copy that down, let's go to number 2. Number 2 says 5 to the third to the 4th power. This 4 outside the parentheses says I'm going to have 5 to the third times 5 to the third times 5 to the third times 5 to the third. 1, 2, 3, 4, because of the 4 exponent. Okay, now I'm going to expand it. I'm going to come over here and start, because it's going to be a lot of 5s. 5 to the third, 1, 2, 3. That was this one. Now this 5 to the third, that's 3 more. 1, 2, 3. There's that one. Okay. This 5 to the third is 3 more. So 1, 2, 3. And then I got 3 more right there. 1, 2, 3. So I've written them all out expanded. So now all I've got to do is go down and count all my 5s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So my final answer is 5 to the 12th power. Okay, go ahead and copy that down, and then we will go to number 3. Number 3, again, same problem, just different numbers. Okay, 2 to the 4th to the 2nd power. That 2 means to take 2 of those, 2 to the 4th. 1, 2 of those, copy and paste them. Then I'm going to expand it. 2 to the 4th is 1, 2, 3, 4 2s multiplied together. 2 to the 4th is 4 more. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, if I count all those up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 2 to the 8th. Okay, and there we go. Okay, now let's look at number 4. Number 4 has 2 sets of parentheses, but I'm still going to do the same steps. I'm just going to have a little more here going on. Okay. Now, 2 to the third to the second power. That means 2 to the third times 2 to the third times, now 2 to the second to the third. Now be careful right here. See, those numbers are switched around. So this means I'm going to take 2 to the second 3 times. Okay. Now, what we're going to do is just expand 2 to the third, just like we did before, is 1, 2, 3. 2 to the third, 3 more, 1, 2, 3. 2 to the second right here, that's 2 more. 2 to the second, 2 more, 2 more. Now, let's count up our twos. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I got 2 to the 12th power. Okay. Now, let's go to number 5. Number 5 is, again, more than one set of parentheses. And this time, instead of my base numbers being the same like in number 4, I've got the 4s and the 5s. So they're going to be a little different. Okay. But I'm still about to expand them just like we did before. Okay. 4 to the third to the second power. That means 4 to the third times 4 to the third. 5 to the second power means 5 squared times 5 squared. Now, 5 to the third to the fourth power, that means 4 of these. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now we've got to do some writing here. So let's expand. I'm going to start way over here on the side. 4 to the third, that's 1, 2, 3. 4 to the third is 3 more. 1, 2, 3. 5 to the second. 1, 2. 5 to the second again. 1, 2. 5 to the third. 1, 2, 3. 5 to the third. 1, 2, 3. 5 to the third. 1, 2, 3, another 5 to the third. 1, 2, 3. Barely squeezed it in there. Now, let's count them all up. How many 4s? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 4 to the 6 times the how many 5s? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So 5 to the 16th power. Okay, now go ahead and make sure you've got these notes copied down and go to Canvas and work on your assignment, please.